moving forward. But as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa, where is our achievement? We help in the elaboration process of other nations. These nations are moving forward, while our nation is stagnated from all stations of reality. Or because patriotism has been neglected at the highest goal in our society. Liberia is a blessed nation, given to us by God. But we will not realize these blessings if we do not cherish this nation. Fellow youth, it is time to change the course of history. You have the power, and that power is your choice. To choose if you will be loyal to this country through your services. Never give up on the motherland. I believe Liberia will someday rise above nations. The only road to this revelation is love. Love is all Liberia needs from us, and it will start to flourish in progress. Long live the motherland.
Bringing you the issue as it unfolds.
Our Declaration of Independence on July 26, 1847 was a revolutionary act of defiance. Back then, we dared to be sovereign. In fact, our very existence as Africa's first Black republic inspired a race benighted. Lest we forget, our Declaration of Defiance happened nearly a century before independence movements began in earnest across this very continent.
Wake Up Call brings you political, social, economic, developmental, environmental, agriculture, educative, health, and security information on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM from Monday to Friday at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Mr. Speaker, let me say this: it's only your job that the budget is being ordered.
Information denied as premature.
Premature, right? So the budget is being authorized. Only your job.
Your information is premature.
Remember, next time you need to review yourself because it is only your job. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to review yourself. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to review yourself because it is only your job. The budget is being ordered.
Declare from the laws and the Constitution. Unfortunately, when we actually bring up the chosen in Africa, who show up to protect the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, as protected by the Constitution, he has been parading and masquerading in the same schools of mass and deception. Soldiers in the foreign students of the University of Liberia, sons and daughters of the dictated masses of the Liberian people, let me to extend to you. In giving a massive protocols, we extend to you born revolutionary British from the indomitable revolutionary American Education Party, Africa's most persistent, Africa's biggest hub of intelligence in the Republic of Liberia.
We don't need to kind of be bringing money to the bar. Or anybody that bring money to the bar, they don't need to eat up the money. They'll say, I pay for that food. They don't like here before. So they bring the money and you eat it. I'm bringing money that's stolen money. There's nothing you went hard for, you're just taking the bar. You own the money, go get the bar. And money when you wipe up. Everyone should not be bribing people for vote. You should come and talk to your citizens, explain to them what you would like to do, and then ask them for the food. If they can't bribe you, tomorrow you will not see you. But the man you so.
We cannot be living here depending on Indians and Chinese and Taiwanese to feed us, and then we want to control the price. It's not possible. So we have to get to the soil. We have to start teaching our children to diversify what we eat. You go to other countries around here, they don't worry about rice price because they eat cassava and lard. They eat it in a different way. They eat it with food, they eat it with bamboo, they eat it with different corn and different things they eat. But for us in Liberia, there's a culture that if you don't eat rice, you're not eating.
Legislation is okay. Prosecution is foolishness. You know what? Why did they do TRC? Why did they do TRC after that South Africa? I was not in Ghana. They went to Ghana and the international community put before Liberia, World Grand Code, and TRC. And they threw TRC. So why do you want TRC to metamorphose into World Grand Code?
You all have decided, made a conscious choice to step forward in these trying times to provide support for your different communities. It is an honor. Providing the service of protection means the world. And what you're doing today is a contribution towards the advancement and the development of this nation. And history will remember you very kindly.
We argue and counter argue to find remedy in our society. Join your presenter, Ajise Bonyele, or Wake Up Call from Monday to Friday at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM for the information you can use as tools.
Good morning. Today is the 11th of February, AD 2025. I'd like to say good morning and a pleasant welcome to your most informative, educative, interactive radio talk show right here on Blaze Radio 90.7. This is Wake Up Call, the program that serves you breakfast in bed. This is Wake Up Call, the program that informs and educates you. Wake Up Call comes your airwave from Mondays through Fridays, and it's only on Blaze Radio 90.7. So I'd like to say welcome. Invite someone to listen along. My name is Archie, say Bob Yene. If you are following from Grangila, Rewa G Sino, Grand Crew. If you are following from Bassa, Rewa says, Lofa County, Bonk, Nimba, Bapolu, Maryland, Bommy. I'd like to say good morning. Good morning to the peace-loving citizen of Mama Liberia. Good morning to our cherished and loving people. Good morning to those of you who always made it your responsibility to listen to this program every Monday to Fridays at about this time. Today is Tuesday, and of course it is the Armed Forces Day of Liberia. Today is February 11th, the Armed Forces Day of Liberia, where the men and women of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia allow every man in Liberians will be celebrating this day along with them. So at later time we'll bring you a little detail on the Armed Forces, when it was established, when they so keep glued. All you need to do is to keep the volume of your radio at that pace as you get the information as it unfolds right here. This program is proudly sponsored by the D&G Pharmacy and Blaze FM 90.7 of the Blaze Communications Network. So today's edition promises to be superb. Today's edition promises to be fascinating. And again, all I can say is that invite someone to listen along. My name is Archie Sebobiene, and welcome to it. We take this break for now, our sponsors, and be right back on the show this morning from the D&G Pharmacy and the management of Blaze Radio. So if you want to be a sponsor to this program, you can contact us, go on Facebook, inbox us, or contact our WhatsApp numbers. We will be there to interact with you and show you the way forward as it relates to this program sponsorship. So let's take this break for our sponsors and be right back with you.
Children are often sold by their family members or acquaintances or lured with false promises. They are then held in slave-like conditions, abused, and cut off from their contacts. Report it today and every day.
A message for Blaze FM.
You can give a gift of freedom to children around the world by putting stop to child abuse and trafficking.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7.
Human trafficking is a crime against humanity. Stop it now.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7. Be a non-violent citizen. Kindly work with the police and avoid mob justice.
A message for Blaze FM.
Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. So, always love yourself the most and don't do drugs.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7.
As I lay me down.
Hello, dear. Are you looking for a place where you can get the best life-saving drugs from Europe, India, the UK, and other parts of the world? Then I recommend the D&G Pharmacy. At the D&G Pharmacy, we have the following: malaria medicine, typhoid medicine of all kinds, syrup of all types, gas and pain tablets of different kinds, sanitary pad, various types of mosquito spray, baby food and bottles of various kinds, different types of face cream, body and mouthwash, baby milk of all kinds, all types of toothpaste and bathing soap. But that's not all. We also have medicine for sicknesses like infection, high blood pressure, heart, sugar, and more. We do delivery and have trained and qualified medical staff to serve you. Yes, it's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs from Europe, India, and other parts of the world. We are located in Doazon at the Turning Point, in Rehab at the Old Bus Turning Point, and in Mambakwe. For more information and inquiry about the pharmacy, you can contact the following cell numbers: 0880-583-741 and 0776-583-741. It's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs in town.
I look to you.
Hello, I'm Sekou K. Kamo, a patriot of the motherland, Mama Liberia. I will be speaking to the consciousness of my fellow youths on the topic patriotism. The progress of our nation rests upon the shoulders of every youth. What is the intention to this nation? Are you willing to serve the motherland with integrity and dignity? Or are you interested in inflating the maximum exploitation for one's own selfish gain? Look, fellow youths, there should be no boundaries in actualizing the highest law for our country, once we are called to service. The biggest problem facing our country is not the lack of good laws. It is not the lack of resources, not the lack of educated men or women, but the lack of law for country. I want you to know this, fellow compatriots. Where there is no love, there is lack of progress. The motherland depends not on herself, but you and I to make it a better place for generations to come. Everyone has a role in this process, ranging from the common man to the nobleman. It is time we examine ourselves. It is time we put our country first above everything else. Other nations are moving forward, but as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa, where is our achievement? We help in the elaboration process of other nations. These nations are moving forward, while our nation is stagnated from all expressions of reality. Or because patriotism has been neglected at the highest goal in our society. Liberia is a blessed nation, given to us by God. But we will not realize these blessings if we do not cherish this nation. Fellow youth, it is time to change the course of history. You have the power, and that power is your choice. To choose if you will be loyal to this country through your services. Never give up on the motherland. I believe Liberia will someday rise above nations. The only road to this revelations is love. Love is all Liberia needs from us, and it will start to flourish in progress. Long live the motherland.
Indeed, love is the only thing Mama Liberia needs from every citizen. When you love your country, you will be a patriot. When you love your country, you will do what is best. When you love your country, you will never steal from your country. When you love your country, you will never be corrupt. When you love your country, when you are given a piece of job to do, you will do it diligently. When you love your country, no matter under what circumstances, you will always be there to protect the interests of your country. When you love your country, when you are given an elected position, you will serve with passion. When you love your country, you will do everything in your human way possible to see the interests of your country. I love this message. That's why I'm playing it on this platform. And it's from one of our brothers who is also helping our disadvantaged brothers to regain their consciousness, to regain their mind, to make them understand the importance of life, to make them understand that the situation they are going through, they still have a brighter future. So Sekou Kamo is the CEO of the Greater Law for Humanity Foundation. He over the weekend, contributed to our disadvantaged brothers, provided them food, free bypass service where you barb your hair free of charge. He went to them. That's what every Liberian should be doing. So, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Wake Up Court on Blaze Radio 90.7, and the time is now 17 minutes up to 4 a.m. this morning. All we can do now is to activate the phone lines as we hear from you as to what is the crime and emergency issues you are confronted with. So we don't have the guys on the Community Watch Forum team here this morning. So we will fill in that gap. And it's always good that we update you about happenings in the community. And those numbers to call are 0777 907 907, 0777 907 907, or 0887 111 107. Call and let us know how is your community. We have this person on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Brother.
I'm good. What is your name and where you come from?
I tell God thank you. My name is Flower Ma, calling from Johnson Bay, Uptown, Small Turning Point.
Okay. How is that part of Johnsonville?
Yeah, Johnsonville is very fun and very happy. Outside, good update. Okay. Everything is okay. And anything, I will let you know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. 0777 907 907. You can do the same by providing us updates from your community. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. What is your name and where do you call from?
I'm Opia Yabu, calling from GSV community.
OPS. How is the part of GSA community you call from?
Just the community is okay.
Okay.
We have the member out, washing out, observing. And I want to call me just go about the LED people, they just put everything on. I think everything okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. 0777 907 907 0777 907 907 0887 111 107. You can call us uh, to let us know how is your community, and we will be glad to know if there is any sort of embarrassment you are confronted with in your community, and we will be here to inform the Regency Authority that should be uh, in the know of your problem. But like we said earlier, today is the Armed Forces Day of Liberia, and the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, are the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia. Training is origin, Trixton is origin to a militia that was formed by the first black colonist in what is known now as Liberia, and it was funded as the Liberia Frontier Force. So when the Armed Forces of Liberia was firstly funded, its name was the Liberia Frontier Force. In 1908, the Armed Forces of Liberia was funded, and it was retitled in 1956. So for almost all of its history, the AFL has received considerable material and trainings assistance from the United States for most of the 1941 to 1989 period. The training was largely provided by the U.S. Advisors through this assistance has not been provided, though this assistance has not been prevented. Some generally low level to activeness common to most of the armed forces in the developing world. So our armed forces of Liberia has its motto, building a force for God. And this motto here on their website, Singlaws, that is unofficial, so that may can change at any time. And like I said, founded in 1908, at first it was initiated in 1847, and later on in 1908, the Liberia Frontier Force was funded, and its current CRC is the President of the Republic of Liberia, that's the Commander-in-Chief, Joseph Boakai, and the Defense Minister, Geraldine J. George, is the head of the Armed Forces of Liberia. So today, Liberians will be celebrating the Armed Forces Day of Liberia, as you know. This is the armed forces that have, according to their website, has 2,100 established men, the active personnel, 2,100. According to their website. So we just thought to bring you a little bit of information about the history of the Armed Forces Day, Perhaps when the guys come on the show this morning, there will be a little discussion around that before we move on to our regular discussion. But don't hesitate to keep your calls coming on 0777 Let us know where you call from, how is the community, and what can be our engagement in terms of the crime and emergency you are confronted with, so that we can inform the Regency Authority that will provide you solution to the problem. 0777 907 907 0887 111 107. So keep your calls on, and we will accept your calls. But don't forget, as the Armed Forces of Liberia celebrate the Armed Forces Day today, please celebrate with them in grand style, because those are men and women who have sacrificed their life, their time for the sake of Mama Liberia. Those are men and women who left their family, even though they are underpaid, even though they are underpaid, but they left their family to provide security for you and I. Even though they are underpaid, but they still remain patriotic. I don't know who is calling on this private number. This person number is private. Good morning. I think you have to take your number from private and call back. So you have to celebrate with them, show them the respect that indeed all of the sacrifices they are going through, you have them at heart. You have them in mind. You keep them at the bottom of your heart, no matter what is the circumstances they are faced with. No matter what strife they go through, you as citizen keep them at heart. So it's good. Uh it's good to be here. If you just tuning in, this is Wake Up Call on Blaze Radio 90.7. And this program comes from Mondays to Fridays on the station. Don't forget, we have a few minutes to accept your calls. 4077907907 the purpose of this is to always know the happenings in your community. It's good to update the public on what is the happenings in your community. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Right after the call, please take your number is on private, so you can maybe manage to remove it. Go ahead. What is your name?
Yes, my name is calling from Tingo Village.
Tingo Village. How is that part of district number 6 you call from?
Oh, it's good this morning.
Okay.
I'm there monitoring your show.
Thank you for monitoring as well.
All right, thank you.
0777 907 call. Let's get this person. I don't know. This person try to beep, please. You don't have credit. Don't beep. Because I won't call. Zero triple seven nine zero seven nine zero seven 887 111 This person, oh God, we lost that caller. You can call back, and we get you right after you. We take a break. When we come back, we begin the show actively here this morning. At which time, our panelists will be on the show. Today, we anticipate to have a guest, but we don't. We will not introduce the guest until the guest is in our studio. So we'll have the guest in our studio. We will introduce to you who is the guest, we have this morning on the show as we discuss national issue, as we discuss issues that confront Mama Liberia, as we discuss issues you always love to hear on this platform. So again, good morning and welcome. We take this break and be right back. We are not accepting calls. Let's take this break and be right back. Child abuse is a crime.
Children are often sold by their family members or acquaintances or lured with false promises. They are then held in slave-like conditions, abused, and cut off from their contacts. Report it today and every day.
A message for Blaze FM.
You can give a gift of freedom to children around the world by putting stop to child abuse and trafficking.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7.
Human trafficking is a crime against humanity. Stop it now.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7. Be a non-violent citizen. Kindly work with the police and avoid mob justice.
A message for Blaze FM.
Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. So, always love yourself the most and don't do drugs.
A message from Blaze FM 90.7.
As I lay me down.
Hello, dear. Are you looking for a place where you can get the best life-saving drugs from Europe, India, the UK, and other parts of the world? Then I recommend the D&G Pharmacy. At the D&G Pharmacy, we have the following: malaria medicine, typhoid medicine of all kinds, syrup of all types, gas and pain tablets of different kinds, sanitary pad, various types of mosquito spray, baby food and bottles of various kinds, different types of face cream, body and mouthwash, baby milk of all kinds, all types of toothpaste and bathing soap. But that's not all. We also have medicine for sicknesses like infection, high blood pressure, heart, sugar, and more. We do delivery and have trained and qualified medical staff to serve you. Yes, it's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs from Europe, India, and other parts of the world. We are located in Duazon at the turning point, in Rehab at the Old Bus turning point, and in Mambakwe. For more information and inquiry about the pharmacy, you can contact the following cell numbers: 0880 583 741 and 0776 583 741. It's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs in town.
I look to you.
Hello, I'm Sekou K. Kamo, a patriarch of the motherland, Mama Liberia. I will be speaking to the consciousness of my fellow youths on the topic patriotism. The progress of our nation rests upon the shoulders of every youth. What is your intention to this nation? Are you willing to serve the motherland with integrity and dignity? Or are you interested in inflating the maximum exploitation for one's own selfish gain? Look, fellow youths, there should be no boundaries in actualizing the highest law for our country, ones we are called to service. The biggest burden facing our country is not the lack of good laws. It is not the lack of resources, not the lack of educated men or women, but the lack of law for country. I want you to know this, fellow compatriots. Where there is no love, there is lack of progress. The motherland depends not on herself, but you and I to make it a better place for generations to come. Everyone has a role in this process, ranging from the common man to the man. It is time we examine ourselves. It is time we put our country first above everything else. Other nations are moving forward, but as one of the oldest independent nations in Africa, where is our achievement? We help in the liberation process of other nations. These nations are moving forward, while our nation is stagnated from all spectrums of reality. Or because patriotism has been neglected at the highest goal in our society. Liberia is a blessed nation, given to us by God. But we will not realize these blessings if we do not cherish this nation. Fellow youth, it is time to change the course of history. You have the power, and that power is your choice. To choose if you will be loyal to this country through your services. Never give up on the motherland. I believe Liberia will someday rise above nations. The only road to this revelation is love. Love is all Liberia needs from us, and it will start to flourish in progress. Long live the motherland.
As I lay me down.
Hello, dear. Are you looking for a place where you can get the best life saving drugs from Europe, India, the UK, and other parts of the world? Then I recommend the D&G Pharmacy. At the D&G Pharmacy, we have the following: malaria medicine, typhoid medicine of all kinds, syrup of all types, gas and pain tablets of different kinds, sanitary pad, various types of mosquito spray, baby food and bottles of various kinds, different types of face cream, body and mouthwash, baby milk of all kinds, all types of toothpaste and bathing soap. But that's not all. We also have medicine for sicknesses like infection, high blood pressure, heart, sugar, and more. We do delivery and have trained and qualified medical staff to serve you. Yes, it's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs from Europe, India, and other parts of the world. We are located in Duazon at the Turning Point, in Rehab at the Old Bus Turning Point, and in Mambakwe. For more information and inquiry about the pharmacy, you can contact the following cell numbers: 0880 583 741 and 0776 583 741. It's the D&G Pharmacy with the best life-saving drugs in town.
I look to you.
So indeed, the D&G Pharmacy is the proud sponsor of this program. So we want to say welcome back to the program Wake Up Call right here on Blaze 90.7. With us is Mr. Lawrence Yene. Together we always bring you the program as we also await Michael and the CEO to be here this morning. As you are aware, today is the Armed Forces Day of Liberia. And let's get to Mr. Yene. Good morning, Mr. Yene. Welcome.
Good morning, Achi. Good morning. Are you getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Good morning, Achi. Once again, good morning, my fellow Liberians. I don't know, happy Armed Forces Day to everybody, especially the men and women, the servicemen and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia.
So it's good to have you again on the show this morning. After a long night of break, a long day of break, we're back again to serve the people because this is what we are committed to doing. Do you want to say, as we're with Michael, you want to say anything about the Armed Forces Day of Liberia?
Yeah, the Armed Forces Day is the day the servicemen come out and parade, display some of their tactics to the country. I mean, it's a celebrated day for them. They also do that to remember some of the veterans of the armed forces. But actually, the armed forces of Liberia, they got to do more. Unlike other armed forces, unlike the armed forces of other countries, Liberia armed forces are not ready to take on the leading path to actually lead the country from my standpoint.
Okay.
Because in other countries, the armed forces have taken a lead, even when it comes to the production of food. You see that the army will be making farm. I mean, yeah, they would
Yeah,
specialize
yeah,
in
because,
things.
because the army comprises of diversity of people of
Very good.
different ethnicity, people of different education background.
It's
You know.
very good. But the armed forces of Liberia have not been seen doing such. And in fact, the armed forces of Liberia, from my standpoint, as I said, have been the key contributors to the Liberian civil crisis. The Liberian crisis. It is the armed forces that took over the executive mansion. They took over the Liberian executive mansion, and the citizens or the civilians told them, please turn our country over to the civilian rule and go back to the barracks. But these men and women refused. They seized the executive mansion after the execution of President Richard Turber, William Richard Turber. They seized the executive mansion. 1985 elections. It was clearly seen that they lost the elections, but they could not turn the country over to the civilian rule. The AFL was in power when the Liberian people went through the tribal war, the senseless civil war. The country was in the hands of the army. So they got to do more. If someone could ask me, I would say the army have caused a lot of harms to the country. They got to do more to save that country. Other servicemen serve their country. Now what? You got various departments. You got people responsible for the Air Force. You got people responsible for the Sea Coast, or sometimes you call them Marine. You got they know there are various departments. you got, you got, you got uh, the various camps, and I know, yeah, brigades, the various brigades. You got people responsible for logistics. I mean, different departments. So the army can take over that country. I think I heard Tiawan Gonglo once speaking on it before, that when he becomes president, he going to use the army to plant rice. They will be well equipped to do that. Because army men, army men, they will not give. It just hard. When army men trust you with something, the fear will be there in our person. They will not go corrupt whole entity. Now, one thing they could be commended for. Corruption can really flow to their area. Although it can happen, like what we have, some guy eating their money, but like in other entities, it can just happen that while we maybe money can go there like the other entity, maybe that's it. But they got to do more. Because of Liberian's army, when some of the Liberian youth travel in the Western world, they try to join the army, you see family members back home calling, don't let our late child go in the army. So you're not cool. I mean, yeah, we try to monitor some people, some family members, some parents saying, don't put your child in the army, don't do that well. So, but in other countries, it's not like that. Only Liberian will look at the army to be bad because when you join army, war come, they going after you. Now what happened during the war? The AFL were being hunted. The AFL men they never have values, and I think it's still continuing because when when the president, when our president takes over, they will bring their own group. I can remember a Taylor time instead of using the AFL, he instead used the I don't know so many factions he had SODATU, Cobra, different groups. The AFL, I don't think he really prioritized the AFL. Well, maybe Ellen tried for the police when she came, she could not change differently. She only enforced another forces like the PSU, the ERU. They are the same police. Even when you are when you leave from PSU, you can be ordinary patrolman. Yeah, I think that Taylor would have done that, but he could not. The army were being deserted. You could not see their voices. So they got more to do. Up to now, more Liberians, they don't really know how the general business looks like because we can remember during the war, when somebody goes on the battlefront, when you catch up one or two, right, they make you general straight. Yeah, made a 3-star general, a 2-star general. So I really don't know much about them. The 2,000 men that we should have, the approximate 2,000 men. I don't know, but I've not really been seeing them to be that hostile, violent. I've been seeing them to be disciplined. The new army, most of them are interacted with them. Some of them even travel. I think I interacted with two of them here in Waterloo that I know of. Two former army men. Yeah, they they are good guys. Yeah, and I interacted with some of them in Liberia, but they got more to do.
Okay. So they got more to do, and February 11 was chosen as the Armed Forces Day of the Republic of Liberia when the Liberia legislatures met in session to consider the colonial dean's recommendation for legislative enactment. It was suggested that choosing any month and date to be set aside as Armed Forces Day would be inappropriate. So that's why instead, a month and date with some historic event in which a member or members of the armed forces had performed some marvelous deeds in the supreme interest of the nation, Liberia, and its people. So this was how this day came about. So according to the website of the Ministry of Defense, this day was selected because it was the day that uh, the men and women of the armed forces of Liberia uh, performed diligently towards Mama Liberia in this month of February. So the month of February was not just selected, but uh, it has some historic, membrane for which it was selected. And like we said earlier, you can celebrate. So, like I said, we are anticipating of hosting a guest on the show this morning, but we still are. I don't know, our time. Make many people who are not used to them to the time sleeps. So we are still managing to get to our guest. But if you're just joining us, this is Wake Up Court, uh, We will take this break. When we come back, uh, when we come back, we will introduce our guest just in case, and if not, we'll tell you what we'll be focusing on this morning for discussion. So let's take this break and be right back with words from our sponsor. So you can be a sponsor to this program. Wake Up Call, you can be a proud sponsor.
Children are often sold by their family members or acquaintances or lured with false promises. They are then held in slave-like conditions, abused, and cut off from their contacts. Report it today and every day.
A message for Blaze FM.
Above nations. The
Indeed, the choice you make to elect a better leader, the choice you make to elect uh, somebody who has the mind for Liberia, the choice you make to elect that person who will be a better leader for this country. So we also have Michael on the line. He's just joining us. So, folks, like I said earlier, we will be playing host to Mr. Mark Blewan, the former county inspector of Nimba County, and he is an aspirant in the upcoming by election that is being scheduled. So the election is being scheduled. I'll just provide a little update on that. But let me welcome Michael. He just joining us. Michael, good morning.
Guys, all time.
Yeah, good
Sorry,
morning.
let me do
Good
this.
morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Archie. Good morning, Mr. Yene. Good morning to our great people out there this morning in Radioland. It's a good thing we are here. It's a good thing to be here again this morning to share breakfast with you. We were here yesterday. Today is another day, day two of the week. And I like some president, I think President Doe, one of the presidents of Liberia, I mean, once said, in the struggle of in the people, the struggle continue in the midst of the people, the struggle continue. Either one of the presidents or one of the civil rights activists, I'm not just getting it together this morning. So the struggle and President we said the struggle in there too. So
Mhm, mhm.
like the rescue people reactivated the struggle. So, but we gotta keep doing something this morning. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep doing what we can to keep moving as a country. There are some troubling news in the corridor. We like 17 million was cut from Liberia aid. According to Elon Musk, that money was meant for UC. UC provides support to LRA to provide some support, some indirect budget support, sometimes to LRA, sometimes to the National Election Commission, and through other media and all of those. And according to the 17 million, as we heard, I think Business Insider published that Elon Musk as well. He too he shared it on his X wall on his
Yeah, yeah. I think I saw that. Mhm.
as well. So that is like 2% of the national budget. So as a country now, as these shocks will keep coming in, some of these things, especially this whole usage saga as it has started, we need to brace ourselves. We don't have a better plan. If we keep on doing this same old thing, there will be a time in a year that there will be some major shock. Yeah, so the country operates, is a tax, it's a tax based economy. So as the money comes in the country, use it. There will be a point in time that the country expects some of these donor monies as well because they are part of the budget. When that gap happens, it becomes a major problem. Then you go like 1 or 2 months, you don't the first month you will delay salary before you get to know you almost in 2 months salary delay with the other grumbling, it becomes disastrous. So I mean, now when these signs are coming up, oh, you see, aid is suspended, oh, the court 17 million are supposed to come to Liberia, whether it was coming directly or was coming paying some staff, because it has to even be investigated whether it was reaching us or it was being done through some other media. But the fact is, this whole aid thing that we have been depending on, this is a moment that we wouldn't be expecting it the way we should. Yeah, so a lot of things are happening now. So Liberia should brace itself. We as the ordinary citizens, we too should brace ourselves because there are a lot more things that will happen. I mean, what's happening in America now? I mean, it's chaotic as we speak. Trump, the man out censoring everybody in Liberia. Anthony Blinken. Trump stripped him of all security clearance. And as we speak, they banned him from entering in a federal building. Anthony Blinken, I mean, I was kind of censoring almost everybody here. Trump banned him from entering any federal building. Trump called him a bad guy. So, I mean, there are some bad news, some positive ones. Because the Democrats did a whole lot around the world, too. I mean, they were just doing a whole lot. So, I mean, it's a good thing being here this morning. It's a good thing we are. Yeah. I was just speaking with one of my friends from the AFL the other day,
and we were having conversations concerning the army. And it's still pathetic that the army still has around 1,400, 1,450 men 20 some more years later. And the reason is that they do not trust the army because of the history of the army. So, and most of these guys are still being suppressed, paying in 200, 250, at most 300. So I just thinking, and both of us was talking, I said, but if you get about 5,000 men in the army and you're paying them at least $400, you have something of 25 million for the army annually. That is not much money for a country that wants to, have a strong defense. And that 25 million annually for army, I mean, it's nothing. Technically, they are spending money like that around the army, but they're passing it through all sort of bureaucratic means, and other people are eating it. I say like 400 minimum. I mean, 400 minimum. They got some other people, they got about 78 men in the army that are taking higher money. While the other people taking 200 out, this money taking almost 700 out. So those 78 men or 80 men that you carry them up small. Maybe you carry it from the 700, you carry them to 800 or 1G, something like that. So it was still for around 24, 25 million annually. That is nothing to spend. It's just 2.3% or 2.4 or 5% of the national budget. That is for defense. And you have about 5,000 men in the army initially. Each of the major counties that got borders with other, you could have a lot of men stationed there. You can get maybe 200 men stationed in maybe Maryland, another 400 men in Nima, Cape Mount, we got 150, 200 men stationed there. We got maybe about 3,000 men stationed to the main place. In most of the counties, we got around 100 men stationed in each of the counties. I mean, then we have a decentralized army. But we are wasting a lot of money on nothing. I mean, most of those money on necessary consultancy, kind of money you are wasting on BP money, paying BP positions that people are literally doing nothing. To become an army man is no joke. You go through a lot of stress, mental, physical, emotional, real training and draining and straining. So it's not an easy thing. But these people they are giving little or no attention. So I think this day, this armed forces day should be a day that mark a new beginning. I don't know what they are thinking about them, what the president will say today, but I think our army deserves better. I mean, we've been there. Manasseh had issue with the army because of her experience during Dothan. She had that trauma. President Wiyakin, I mean, he maintained the same order of the army. He didn't change much. President Walker is there. He said no business as usual. What are they doing with them? Are they still afraid of the army? They don't want to. I mean, for the sake of defense. We are not going to fight anybody now, but we need to have some military prowess as a country. Yeah, America cutting all their aid in America and now with dependent. Donald Trump can say he independent. Donald Trump is president. What you think about something happening in Liberia and say he doesn't care? Let Liberia solve our own problem. Where will you turn? So now we should start thinking. In as much as we have a president, and Donald Trump, vice president, is almost like him. That guy sounds like a racist too. Those people are people who do not have interest in other countries. Yeah, JD Vance, listen to JD Vance conversations. JD Vance is not like a Democrat. He doesn't care about what happening there. He doesn't care about the things that are happening across the world. He's just concerned about America. So I mean, we need to think about that. We need to think about that. As things are changing, we need to think, oh, this is the army. What can we do differently with the army? Over 20 years, you can have people going through the army to become an army man. It's not an easy thing. Sometimes they deprive them of their rest. It take months before their rest come. And and they're taking 200 hours, 250, 2 days. At most, they're taking three, four, at most at 300. But in 200 something. The mean was around the 78 men there, no, 70 or the 80 men are there. They are the one taking around 700 or something. Those are high ranking officers. And to become high ranking officer in the army is no joke. So I think they deserve better. So wish the army, wish every personnel of the army, a blissful Armed Forces Day. We thank them for their service to country. We thank them for the sacrifices they have made over the years, over the period. Being an army man is no joke. We appreciate you for all you've done, and, for the sleepless nights, for abandoning your family for months. Man, leaving your Jew for months it ain't no joke. Sometimes the Jew they can follow them later on. But before you settle down for the girl to come, and that's much stress you can go through. It takes a lot of sacrifices. And end of the day, they get nothing. They get in the army. Some of them get frustrated and they have to leave the army. Yeah. So wish them well. You see? Yep, I'm getting you. I know what I'm gonna low. So we wish the army well. Wish them all the best. See, shout out to
So
them.
yeah, so just continue. I want to bring our guest. He's finding it difficult to load studio, so I want to link him to the WhatsApp. Are you getting me?
It depends the
Yeah.
browser he's using. Ask him which browser.
Okay.
So
I
you
don't
could,
know.
yeah, okay, you could copy. Achi,
What is it?
Achi, are you getting me? Achi,
Am I loud to you, Michael?
We are getting you.
I'm low
Achi,
on the radio.
are you
I
getting
swear.
me?
I'm
Achi,
actually low on the
Mr.
radio.
Mr. Yene is talking. Mr. Yene is saying something.
Achi, are you getting me?
Let me take this break. I
Oh,
don't know.
he's not getting me.
Technical problem. I'm coming. Let me take this break.
Tell him you could copy the link.
As I lay me down.
Hello, dear. Are you looking for a
They
place
get
where you can get
letting
the
the
You're
person.
best
tapping in the chat room. You're
life-saving
tapping in
drugs
the chat
from
room.
Europe, India, the UK, and other parts of the world? Then I recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as Michael, you can take over a bit. Let me try to connect our guest. He's finding it difficult.
Yeah.
I want to talk
Another
to
thing
him.
I was
So,
saying, Achi, are you getting me?
You hear me, right? But you muted me from your side. Are you
you
getting
are
me?
loud. Yeah, you are
Oh,
loud.
you getting me too, Achi?
Oh
Mr.
God.
Yene is asking. Are you
He's
hearing
also
me?
he's also muted. Okay.
Are
Yes,
you
Mr.
getting me?
Yena, go ahead now. Let's see.
Yeah, what I was saying, my God told me to type it. I was typing it, but since you hearing me
Mr. Yena
now?
have to go out and come back in.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
mean, we wish the armed forces well. We wish the armed forces well today. We acknowledge their sacrifices. We acknowledge the sacrificial, or work they've been doing over the years. I mean, it's purely sacrifice because the authoring of the work is nothing over the years. I mean, spending someone getting 250 every month, whole year at 2,000 something. You got family to feed. You got a lot to go through. It's completely nothing. And some of the little things they're supposed to get, the rice, maybe you're supposed to get two half bag of rice every month. It's not coming on time. So there's a reason why the army is being treated the way it is. I think we need to work out of that. We need to address that reason. It's a fundamental reason we need to address it instead of then just being like that. I mean, all of us, all of the countries surrounding us around here, they got large number of army. We can be having the least number of army in the region. Like I said earlier, America is withdrawing aids. I mean, we are not taking war with anybody, but the military might of a country defines the country. We say things to other country. I mean, they know that you know what you stand for. You can't have a country with 1,400. I mean, I'm a man. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Though we have other people in the police, we have other, um, we have the PSU, we have the ERU. I don't know whether the ERU is still existing, by the way. We have the PSU, and we have the anti-robbery unit too that use firearms. They are trained to do combat, but the army should be prioritized in my mind because the entire military strength of the country, the national security strength of the country is less than 10,000. With a country with like 6 million people, you can get less than 10,000 people. The police get around 1,700 men. Let me say 4,700 men, the police. Police here got around 4,700 men. The army 1,400 men. And the DEA got around 600 men. Plus they few like around 1,000 immigration and a few men from the NSA. So it's like less than 10,000, the national security strength of the country. We need to beef that up. We need to restructure, we need to get ghost names on the payroll, pay some little attention to the security sector. Today is an armed forces day, it should be a day that we should think about some of these things. Millions of dollars, 14 million, 15 million goes to NSA every year. Just NSA alone, 14, 15 million goes to NSA every year. I mean, those money, what NSA does, completely nothing. What the NSA does there is just to go after opposition people. So that political money to go down there for the president to be right, private jet, all those kind of desert, man. That money they can use it and beef up the strength of the army, beef up the strength of the national. We were discussing national security, not just the NSA, the national security, and it's the police, and it comprises the police, the immigration, the LDA, even the fire service. When criminal justice, you better know the fire service is part of. I'm getting you.
Yeah, so we're using WhatsApp instead.
Did he change his browser? Like,
I think he's
is he using a computer or he using a
no
phone
phone,
directly?
phone. He's
Maybe
using the
that's.
Z Fold. Yeah, the Z Flip. I think that's what he's using.
But then
But
what
but
you could do, anyway, he clear.
we can. Yeah, he's
Another
clear.
thing
He's
I
clear
was
with the
saying,
WhatsApp. We
another
can
thing I
use
was
him.
saying, you could copy the link and then paste it to his messenger page. Then you would
That
just click on it.
that's what I did. That's usually how I do it. But it's not going to. But we can have it this way. Whether I think it's okay.
Yeah. Is he hearing us too? You should ask him.
I'm hearing you. I'm
Yeah,
hearing you.
he's
Oh,
hearing. He's hearing all of you.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so folks, those of you just tuning in, we want to say sorry for the little inconvenience. Uh, we have Mr. Mark Bliwan, who is the former county inspector of Nimba County, and he's going to properly introduce himself. He's one of those aspirant who is aspiring for the upcoming by-election in Nimba County, and the election is being scheduled for the 22nd of April, 2025. So we will be here to ask Mr. Bliwan a few questions, as he will also be bringing his plight to the Liberian people, particularly people of Nimba. I know Nimbans follow this show a lot, and to some of whom online also follow the show via our social media and online radio as well. So he will be here from between now to 6 o'clock as we discuss together. So Mr. Bliwan, it's good having you for the first time on Wake Up Call on Blaze Radio.
thank you.
Will you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
My name is Mike Blimo. I'm from Nima County, specifically the Capitan District, Boaquila Administrative District, the town of Lopley. My mother is from Zoge, Statutory District, the Chidon of Bo, and the town called Bokosin, but currently residing in Gandos City, Nima County, Republic of Liberia.
Okay. So it's good to have you on the platform this morning. How is Nimba County?
Relatively, things are good. You know, Nima is a basic county where everyone goes about looking for his or her daily needs. And that have been the strength of Nimba because we had two bordering countries, both Guinea and Ivory Coast, we strengthen our economies. So on this note, they keep everyone busy. So all of our people are here doing that normal thing. So things are fine in Lima.
So like I informed you this morning, we invited you on the show basically to know your position because since the death of Senator Johnson, this vacancy has been created, and obviously there is a scheduled by-election for Nimba County. And there have been the news about people, almost 10 names from Nimba County, among which you fall part of. The names have been in the corridor to contest for the by-election in replacing Senator Johnson. So before we just continue the conversation, we want to understand from the House's mouth, will you contest the by-election in Nimba County?
I will contest. I've been doing several consultations based on the call from friends, fans, former partisans, and people who also believe in our way of leading, people who believe in our ideas, people who believe that we can stand for the truth, people who believe that we are up to the task have been calling upon us to fill in the gap. So we have been doing consultation for the past 2 months, reaching out to people of relevance and reaching out to people who could also sponsor us into the process, people who could support us in every direction. And we have come to the conclusion that it's necessary that we go on the call of our people. So based on all of the consultation that we have made, we have decided to fill in the gaps of the vacancies that was created by the death of Senator Johnson, which was a sad thing for us. But we being a closest person to Senator Johnson in times past, since 2004, since Senator Johnson came here in 2004, we've been one of his children moving alongside with him and doing all of the details of things that are happening in Nima. So we have decided to accept the request from our people to contest this coming senatorial by-election that is slated for April 22, 2025.
Have you formally declared your intention? If so, what have been the reception from the citizens of Nimba County?
Obviously, we were told by people to contest, by our citizens to contest, by our fans and friends to contest. So it's been a welcoming news, and people are already start tripping in since 1 month ago, thinking about how we can all make a team. But you know, election is a teamwork. No one does it alone. You need people to link on so that things can go in a rightful direction. You need people to put in strategies. You need people to also be by you when it's time for touring, in which we have enough of ideas placed together, and all of what we have done, we feel that it can make us to go through. And so by that, we have been in the media declaring our intention to our people and also telling friends who we also want their involvement, telling them we are up to the task to contest. So we have declared formally our intention.
Okay. So let me get to. I'm on a show with Mr. Lawrence Yan Yened and Marcus Francis Tadi, our panelists on the show. So we're gonna ask you some questions before I just move further. Mr. Yened, do you want to ask? You have any question for our guests?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you for accepting the invite to come and
You're
speak.
welcome.
So, do you care to catalog some of the achievements that were made by you as inspector of NIMBA prior to this, your ascendancy that you are seeking
Thank
for?
you. Obviously, everyone will need a peaceful nation. I've been a peace builder. I've been a unifier. And infrastructure while we've been contributing to society. And when it comes to empowering young people to obtain education, we are also being a part. When it comes to affiliation with people as a grassroots, we are being in the land. And when it comes to health, we have contributed enough and immensely in NIMBA. And whenever there are issues bothering our people across the borderland, our duty and responsibility at the time of county inspector, we're also there to mitigate and ensure that our people have a peaceful coexistence. So there are several things that we are doing in NIMBA. Our working with the education sector, the health sector, the so women, the elders, the youth, our women, the marketers, the Muslim community, the transport union, all of the sectors, our impact have been felt there. So based on that, we feel that when we go for the tax, our people will help us to also give us the task to perform.
Okay, so then soon you ascend to this position. You got your predecessors and you've been looking at them. What are some of the different things you're bringing on board you think they've been lacking? By the way, have there been some lacking things there on the side of the lawmakers, especially the senators from NIMBA?
Well, what we can say to you is this position is not for a challenge. It's not something that you are going to challenge somebody who have been in a position that feel the people. It was a vacant created by death, and we feel we can fill it. When it comes to what most of our people that are spearheading the activities of our country, owing on the Mantle Authority as lawmakers, some have failed to unify our people. Because normally when elections are over, the first thing you do is how you can bring unity among people. Because whenever there's total peace, there will be a free movement of people. There will be the togetherness of our people. So we feel we come to the table with the unification of our people in NIMBA, because whenever there's election, there will always be some tension. And after that, unification is the best thing to do first. And we have our own way of leading people. We are not going to criticize people based on how they work. The electorate will be the one to do that. In grading all of us, if we are given the Mantle Authority to serve NIMBA people, it will based on our work that we have done, infrastructure-wise, linking with people in how to bring peace in the community, what we can do for the youth to be able to have some level of empowerment when it comes to job. How can we give grant to our mothers who sit there in the sun to see the needs of how to get children going to school and how to feed them at home? So all those things will be based on what you think as a human, and you feel that whatsoever that you obtain from job given you should also trickle down to your people, and it should have some level of good impact on your people. So we are not going to criticize people, but we feel we have our own different way of leading to make our people to feel better, to make our people to feel that there's adequate representation of them. So we got our own way to lead, and that's why we bring it on the table.
Thank you. Just before I go to my
Yeah,
fellow my fellow panel, you know the honor is here for a longer time. So let me just I
yeah,
know
yeah.
there'll be second round for the questions. So
Uh,
no, you just spoke of unity. That look at it this way. You been uh serving the people of Nimba, your people. There's a conflict there regarding this land dispute among some family members. I mean, the Donzos, the Suas, and the list is there. What do you think? Have you played any role there, or upon your ascendancy? Will there be any difference that you're going to play? Any different role? You care to talk something about that?
So normally the Booth family now have been together discussing this issue. Like I said to you, 7 years as county inspector. These were roles that we play in the life of our people and to strengthen government effort to ensure that the government adequately serve our people. So the issue of the Donzo land, you know, there's eminent domains placed on the land. And this was placed during the time of our former president, Mana Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So during the time of the regime of the former president, President George Manneh Weah, we also play our part while serving as county inspector when there was tension building up at a certain point. And even where the Dozos family also have the land along the Circuit Bay Highway, there was tension that came out in Uganda that almost put everyone in a disarray position. So we had to go there swiftly while en route to work. We had to turn our car around to come back to Uganda to ensure that we gave total peace that day because everyone, when the old war is coming to Uganda, so people start going into their various houses, packing their luggages to figure how they can get out of Uganda. So we were right there, we brought them on the table, took them to Monrovia, and we met the former president. We all went there at Eddie Johnson Sirleaf Conference Hall at the ministerial complex. And the president at the time did extremely well to set up a committee headed by Senator Johnson, the late, and co-chaired by the current vice president and Honorable Doug Cooper, who is currently the Inspector General of Commerce, so that they can mitigate that process. In that vein, I will also ask to go and sit with the both family so that there can be a total peace. But the committee said it was something that needed to be financed. So based on it not being financed, that brought the land out studying dispute being go in this direction. So, but what we did was we decided to talk to the two families because you had 4 persons occupying that land and claiming ownership. So 3 on the other side and 1 is claiming all. 3 claiming separate portions and then 1 is claiming the entire 2 acres of land there. So we had to talk to them and ECHO had to come in based on our removal. We don't know the detail, but as it stands, people who are existing on the land, they are in a peaceful mood, but they are not being given ownership to anyone. So we play our role in the both land disputes that are in Uganda. And beyond that, there have been several land disputes in Uganda that started. Some started in 1984, some started in 1994, some started in 2000 when we took over based on our working in collaboration with the Liberia Land Authority. We're also able to calm down some of those situations and we were serving as chairperson who also brought into the country with the land authority and they were able to go and solve some of those land that had dispute and today our people are coexisting in a peaceful manner.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's get Michael. Michael, you want to ask Mr.
Yeah,
Blue?
good morning, Mr. Blue. It's a good thing being on this platform this morning. My name is Michael Francis Starr, and thank you for joining us this morning from Nimba. And I was born in Tapeta. I think somehow some will come from the same district. I'm originally from Bassa, but my grandparents settled in Tapeta, and that's where I was born. So I think somehow, some way, we got some sort of relationship. But you are here this morning on our platform, and we got a few questions to ask. I want to begin with this.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, are you going to contest on a political party ticket or as an independent? If you are going on a political party ticket,
No,
you
Michael,
go.
this is all Nima County first.
No, I'm trying to ask a question. If you are going on a political party ticket and you are not chosen in the primary, will you still go as an independent? Are you understanding me?
Well,
My question
I'm not
is,
even going on a party ticket.
oh, you're not going on a party ticket,
Yes,
so you are
I'm
contesting
not
as
going on
an
a party ticket.
independent.
But this is all Nima County first. Anyone who wins this title or who wins this position is going to serve as a Nimbai. I'm going to serve based on party line. I'm a partisan of the Coalition for Democratic Change, who serve as the campaign manager for the Coalition of Democratic Change and the spokespersons also for the Nima branch.
But why
And
are you not representing your
coming
party?
to this position is not about party business. We know that anyone who wins, like I said, you will be serving the people of Nimba as a Nimbai. If you come down to Nimba, you don't need to take party issue to be the most talk about things. Because if we have issue, for instance, in the Booyah belt, that is heavily grounded with the people from the background of the United Party, are you saying the senator not going to go there to see how we can inquire from the people on the unfolding situation? If you have issue unfolding from the Yamen, the Babli, the B and Toru, the Lao, the Zan belt, are you saying because it's heavily grounded with the people
No,
from the side of the Coalition for Democratic Change or the CDC, will you not go there as partisan
yeah,
welcoming
Mr. Blue
Ronyan
One,
Twain yesterday
Mr. Blue One,
around the Lao belt
Mr.
when
Blue
there
One.
were disaster that hit the people, and you know those places, people voted there for the Coalition for Democratic Change. Nyan Twain
Mr.
coming
Blue
from the
One,
background of the United
Mr.
Party.
Mr.
He
Blue One,
also
the
went there
person you are even going
and
to replace,
identified with
Senator
people in
Johnson
precincts
was a member of the
and settle
MDR,
some
and
of
he
the
was proud to
issues
be a member of
that
the
the people
MDR.
have,
He
because
contested on the
obviously you will not
MDR.
be able to settle all of the issues that the people will be having, but you settle some. So are you saying because you are a senator from a political party and you are a nearby who have vows to help the people in the process of living, will you not go there? So based on this, decide to go as an independent candidate, or my identification when it comes to party line is the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC.
So you will contest against anyone that runs on a CDC ticket. That's what you are saying.
Well, if
If the
someone
CDC,
runs on a
if the
CDC
CDC,
ticket,
if
I'm
the
going
CDC
as an
features
independent
a
candidate.
candidate in the
I don't think
election.
this election is about contesting against, because like we said, this vacancy was created by death that suddenly hit us as neighbors. So we all trying to fill in this position. So if someone is on the coalition ticket, the person will also be going for the position, but I will be going for the position.
It sounds a little controversial, but we will still come back to that. I want to ask another question. You said you were petitioned. I don't know whether you were petitioned or you were asked by friends. I want to understand something. Have you done any assessment to know your political capital? Have you contested in an election before, or have you done any recent survey besides the quote unquote friends asking you, Mr. Blue, when you can run to, you able to win this election? Have you done any survey in recent times to know whether you have that political capital to even be contesting in the first place, besides just the friends asking you? Have you done any survey? Have you done any assessment to know, yes, certain number of people are willing to stand with me no matter what. Even if I go as an independent, I'm going to still win. Have you done that assessment? Or you are just
I done assessment enough, like I said, the call have been made by several citizens of Nimba asking us to go into the process because of what we are doing for the people of Nimba. So I done so many surveys. I've gone to the Yamen Bell, gone to the Paper Bell, gone to the Loguatu Bell, been in the Bio region, talking to several friends based on the call. I go to Boequia, the Pabli people. We are also have several meetings with friends in Ganto. So we are doing a political survey that also give us a political baseline and giving us the caps you are talking about, and we can
so
work
in
to
this
go
in this
into the
surveying
process.
question, you are the one tapping the list.
See that?
In this survey, I'm not talking about political meetings. I'm talking about survey that you do on the survey to,
Put up
and
a
you do
set.
a random survey to know that you have a strength in the county. You have some level of strength in the county. That out of three, four, the three main people, maybe you come second, you come first to determine that, oh, if I put in more effort during the course of the campaign, I'm going to win this. I'm not just talking about meetings that you go and your friends are having
So
meetings
like
with
I said,
different
I said to you, I have done a political survey. I told you I visited several areas in
Okay.
Nimba
Okay.
and I done the political survey. And we listen to people on the media with also the opinion pool been made by journalists. This opinion pool when conducted on some stations, I will come the first, and then on Okoga we come second, and then on some stations on Okoga we come first, and I will come second. That have been the ranking between them. So all of the survey have been done, and other are also gone around to do some sampling survey for us, and that have been done and brought the result to us.
Okay. So this one is the one from my end for now until we go to the second batch of the questions. I beg you, these are questions that are on the minds of our people, and some of them, they asked us to ask you. So please don't take offense in the things that we are saying here. Are you an opposition or a supporter of Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn? If you were to become a senator, can you openly criticize him, or have you openly criticized this government before?
Well, like I said to you, I came from the background of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Obviously, when you are from different political party and different regimes, it's also leading, you become someone who is an opposition to that. But it does not give you the right of insulting people who are into power. It does not also make you to just criticize people when you don't have issue to criticize. But when there are issues, you make your recommendation and give your honest opinion on that. So Orokun and I are not going to any rivalry of criticism. And if there's issue confronting our country,
If there is a
and it
need to
requires
criticize
the
him, can
government
you
looking into
openly
that,
criticize him?
we also made our recommendation. And when if there's bad thing that government is doing to our people, we will stand firm to criticize that, and we'll make our opinion known, and we will tell you the way out and what
I'm
we
saying
feel
if
is not good
Honorable
for our
Kuhn
people,
himself did
and we
something
want
wrong
that to
in
be happy.
Nima,
We will
if he
also
did
explain
something
that
wrong in
to
Nima,
you, the
can you openly
establishment, and
criticize
tell you
him?
this is not good. You told our people during the campaign time that you campaign on the basis of this, and what is unfolding now is quite different, and you need to rethink and see how you can govern well.
Yeah, Mr. Bluon, I was saying if
Yeah.
Honorable Kuhn, if Vice President Kuhn
Honorable
were
Kuhn
to
as an
do
individual, that's what you
something
mean, Michael?
as an individual were to do something wrong in Nima as a vice president, as an individual, maybe he says something or did something wrong in Nima, can you openly criticize him?
So that's why I say Orokun will do something bad, even in my private life as a citizen, when it's wrong. I will speak onto that and say, Orokun, this is wrong.
So you can
Based on
openly
how you
criticize
are
him.
led the people of Nimba before, the trend you are taking on this other issue is now good for our people. And Nibayans voted you or women for the good of their living condition. But to what you have done and what you have said to the people of Nima, this is not a good thing, and you need to change in the direction. We will tell you, even where we were before as county inspector, when there were issues that are not good for our people, while the vice president was serving as senator, we also made our recommendation and made our important issue. It's not about going to insult leader, but you can just give your candidate advice on issue and speak on issue in an open without even insulting somebody, and the person will look into that and say, yes, what the president has said is good. Everyone meditate on things. Sometimes there are some issues that you will be thinking about, and you will say something that you are not being expected to say. But because of sometimes tension, people say things the way you're not supposed to have said it. So when people say they are concerned on issue that is not good, you as a leader, you need to have a thinking cap, and you also go your drawing board and say, yes, I've heard, and I think what the person has said to me, they also need to be looked at.
Okay, just to chip in this one, Aji, Mr. Incoming Senator, running a campaign is very expensive. Uh, you, you are not. I don't know whether you are currently in government, and Nima is the second largest county when it comes to the political equivalence of our country politics. How are you going to run the campaign? Who's sponsoring your campaign? Are you sponsoring yourself, or the people in Nima are going to sponsor you, or the CDC will sponsor you, or somebody else is sponsoring you for this upcoming senatorial campaign?
Firstly, when you are going to everything, you hope on God first. You don't hope on men, because men will bring you and will not reach you. But if God carries you, God will reach you. So our hope is on God.
Okay. So his hope is on God. Folks, if you're just joining us, I'd like to say you are listening to Blaze Radio 90.7, and the program is Wake Up Court. We have Nema County Senatorial aspirant Honorable Mark Blewan, the former county inspector of Nema County. Honorable Blewan, you live Nimba. Myself, from Nimba, I've lived all of my life in Nimba, and I know what is Nimba politics and what it is now. One major factors that have always contributed to the body politics of Nimba is the issue of tribal sentiment, where coroner is all over on the social media. They see belong to Gil, this one at Gil, this one at Gil, this one at Mano, this one at... You have over 6 different tribes from Nimba that is predominant by the Mano and Gil. What can you say, or what have you in mind if elected senator about the issue of tribal sentiment, or how can this, or does this affect your campaign as an aspirant?
So like you said, there are training issue on the social media, and people are saying those things on the wireless media, and people are also sitting in groups discussing the issue of this time is for Gilman. It's just the idea brought forth because there was disenchantment from the angle of the people from the Manos belt. Because when we decided to have 2 senators after the war, it was based on the way the election went. Senator Johnson took the lead to almost 100 and some more thousand votes. And Honorable Adolfo Aduro also came second. So we had 2 senators. At the time, we had one serving as junior and one serving as senior. But as it stands, the both senators will also obviously go for 9 years at the Constitutional Republic of Liberia. So when we got into 2011 election, Honorable Thomas Grupi came from the United States, and it was the first time contesting. And based on the political based party, which was the NUDP, headed by the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson, who went as a contesting person the ticket of the NUDP as president. 7 persons won on the ticket from District 1 to District 6. District 1 was the current vice president, Honorable Jeremiah Makun. In District 2 was Prince Tokpa. District 3 was Honorable Sami Wule. District 4 Honorable Garrison Yulu. District 5 was Honorable Samuel Gongwen Kuga. District 6 was Honorable Rich Watowe. And then, based on all of them contesting on the party of the NUDP, it was a NIMA-based political party at the time. It also gave rise to the former Senator Thomas Gribi coming in as the next senator. So he being from the side of the Gio Bell, commonly called Dan, and Senator Johnson also coming from the side of the Gio Bell. They were both Gio person leading the seat from 2011 up to 2014. 2014, Senator Johnson went for re-election for the first time, and he won. Next to him was Manaire Gonglo Way. So the complaints start to come from 2011. That why is it that 2 persons from the Gio Bell will be serving as senators? So they needed a man person to fill in the gap. So 2020, there were also election that brought the current vice president to the Senate. And the current vice president also won as a Guilme. So based on that, it was like breaking disunity among our people in Nimba. So when we were going to the election that brought Senator Johnson for the third term, people start to say he should vote for Emmanuel Kennedy. Since the day Onrokun is there as a senator and Senator Johnson has gone twice, there should be no third term. So the crowd from 2011 continued to expand. And Senator Johnson was overwhelmingly voted for and leaving Nyatwai in your second place position. So after the election, when the current vice president won and left the seat vacant, people said in totality this time around, let's give it to a man person. So that's how all of us who decided to contest the by-election at the time in 2024, we were all settled. You guys can sit down and let's give Nyatwai a chance. So based on the crowd from the people of Nimba, we all accepted that. But Onrokoga refused to accept the way of the Nimba people. And he contested against Nya as a seated District 5 representative who just won the seat in Agone 3 months. So Nimba's trooped in the direction of this resolution that was not signed, but it was proposed. So based on that, I was elected on that argument that we should give chance to one man on me. So the reason you're seeing people posting and saying those things on the radio is that Nya had gone as a man person, and Senator Johnson was also there as a Q person. So this time around, since it is Senator Johnson had gone suddenly and the seat is vacant, it should be given to a Guillaume. So that's the reason you're hearing people to say that. So based on what we feel unity can come about in Nimba, that we said based on our platform, the first thing is we should bring unity among our people and make sure that Nimba is peaceful for our coexistence as a people will come up with. We will also, when elected at the president, or the senator of the county, we will bring our people together and unify them in a good way. As we have been doing
there are more than 2 traps.
In previous time.
There are more than 2 traps in Nimba. So why will people just conclude and attribute the seat, the vacant senatorial seat to Gio?
So what I've been said is that the people from the B, the people from the Mano Belt, and the people from the Pere Belt
The Mandingo as well.
should be holding on to the Sokopa era around the Bela Belt. You got Pere people living in Nimba. And you got the B people living in Nimba that are close to Riverson. And you got the Mano people, also the second dominant tribes. So what I've been said is the three tribes should also go for one seat. Then the people from the Kpabli Belt around the Cote d'Ivoire era, the Crown Belt, and then the Mandingo and the Gio Belt should hold on one seat. So that have been the agreement. Some will say people from the B Belt, from the Crown Belt, and from the Gio Belt should hold on one seat, and people from the Mandingo Belt, from the Pere Belt, and the Mano Belt should hold on one seat. So this is how they have been divided. 3 on the other side on one seat, and 3 on the other side on one seat.
Has that been working?
Yeah, Saturday is working.
Okay.
It started in 205 and it worked. And now it has taken me shape and it's also working.
So
we know people will also come into the process to challenge it, but the voters will decide based on what they feel can bring peace in Nimba.
So Honorable Blue One is contesting. The people of Nimba listening to you here in Nimba County as well want to know, what are you bringing on the table? What do you envision for Nimba County?
Obviously, if you are given a mantle authority to serve, even president, vice president, senator, representative, you feel you can do as your legacy when it comes to development should also be done. How can you prioritize young people to also fill in the gap tomorrow when you are not living anymore like how Senator Johnson had gone? You should also be able to prioritize the youth and empower them and make sure that our mothers who sit in the sun too also get a little thing from you, like grant or loan, empower them so that they can make business to send other children to school. Because one person cannot do all. So you should bring in development, you should bring in peace, you should make sure that children go to school, and you should have some infrastructure that will be built as your legacy so that people will also be able to have a good impact for your leadership ability. So these are things that we bring on board. But firstly, we are unifying when development comes there, and then human capacity building also follows.
So, being cognizant of the function of a lawmaker, you go vying for a seat at the Senate that is classified as a seat of elders. Uh, One will want to know, what is the eligibility of what is uh, the the leadership ability Mark Bliwon has that he wants to go to the Senate.
So my leadership ability is explained beyond that. As one person who has served our country, from my childhood day, I've been holding position of leadership. While even in my entrepreneurs link, working with friends, I serve as president. If I'm even on a football team, I also serve as a captain. When I'm in a classroom, I serve as president, vice president, or secretary general in the class. And when I'm in grouping or institutional organization, I also hold leadership. And I have the charisma of leadership. And when it comes to serving people who also adequately will serve people in an elderly manner, I don't beyond that when I serve as county inspector. There's no elder in Nima that you will call behind me, that you will call and also inquire on my leadership ability that they will doubt. It's not possible. The citizens of Nima know what I've done. The people in Nima in totality are witnesses to my leadership ability.
Okay.
So going as an elder, I'll also perform as an elder. And coming back in the country, I will know how to unify our people. I will know how everyone will be prioritized based on their segment and based on their sector. And I'll also go ahead the district level and ensure that my impact positively is being felt by our people.
Okay, so before I just go to my colleagues, like you said, I want to ask two questions before I just go to them. Like you said, during the 2024 by-election, there was negotiation reached out. This time, if there is this negotiation again, initiated, like, oh, Mark, this, let give this to XYZ, you have to come back, and governance yourself maybe for next election, or we find XYZ to do. Uh, are you willing to compromise your interests to contest this by-election for the senatorial seat? If there is any negotiation being put forth, maybe okay, after that we'll find you job to bring you back, maybe in government. Two, let me just ask this final and before you go. Two, during the funeral of Senator Johnson, you have the elders uh, having Honorable Koga to lift over the remains of the late senator. Uh, and at that ground, some elders there call on the people of Nimba to support Honorable Koga, that anybody should not come in the race. If anyone comes, they will campaign vigorously against them. What have you to say?
Well, I didn't hear any elder saying nobody should go into the race. Far from reality.
They
It's
are
not
on
true.
record. They are on record for that.
Actually, until I can see the record, because I was there.
Okay.
You are the one who knows me best. Then Francis and Mr. Yeni. So I have been one of the closest person to Senator Johnson. Based on that, I was with the body all through. I came to Morovia, and I also participated in all of the meetings. And we had some disappointment I will express. Senator Johnson started his revolution that brought him to permanent in Butu, where Senator Johnson crossed and entered Butu. We have made our recommendation and to the committee and the vice president that we needed to reach Senator Johnson in your hometown, which is just a 15 minutes drive to Butu. And then where he crossed, the coffin should be should be carried to rest there. And we have a movement of silence at the crossing point, and also come to your hometown and take him to Broly where he was born. And then we can bring him counter now for burial. So their counter argument have been the road is ugly. And I stood up for him to say, how much will it take as Nimbai to grade a road and use some of our functioning machines to grade a road from anywhere that we feel is ugly, so that we can carry Senator Johnson for a body to rest there. So I will wave the body when the body enter.
Yeah. So the
And why you
ceremony
saw
inbound.
happening
Yeah.
inbound,
The ceremony inbound. That's at the
why you
funeral.
saw happening inbound, need not to talk about. We don't need to talk about that because it was a total disgrace to the culture of the people of Nimba.
How was that
Apart from me
disgrace?
serving as county inspector, Aji, I'm granted in the traditional sector of Nimba. I'm from the both tribes. Like I said to you, my mother is a man woman. I grew up in Ganto. I was born in Habel. My parents brought me to Ganto in 1981. Then living in Ganto in 1981, at school in Ganto. That's why I went out in school, then came back to Ganto. I got three different houses in Ganto. And this is the Manon Bill. I got a house in Seklipi, it's a Manon Bill. Also in Tapeta, it's a Dio Bill. And I'm currently in Senikuri, as you are aware. So the serving the people of Nimba as a county inspector also have a serious function with the traditional council people and the elders. and you are given the task to mitigate disputes and ensure that you keep your country peaceful, in which we are up to the task as the best performing person. Based on that, I will also elected on a web ballot in Banga for County to serve as the chair of the County Inspector Council of Liberia. So to have a tradition that someone performed and the person was not even the chair of the traditional council in Nimba. The traditional council chair in Nimba, is Rao Senior, who also argued that on the radio and discussed that for 3 days.
So should we say that was
For
motivated?
me,
In short, it was. Should we say it was politically
so
motivated?
that was wrong. We are on a public radio. We cannot discuss our tradition there. But just to hint you on things, Senator Johnson has never been part of any society. Senator Johnson has been converted from whatsoever people may fear. He also was a clergyman.
So are you willing to negotiate
Even when
your position?
he was talking to Senator Darrell Dillon, who got him angry from the Senate based on the war chronicle issue. You saw him with a bow in his hand going in his office. So this man was on a podium, he was on a pulpit, preaching the word of God. So he and no one have a traditional issue.
Okay.
And Orokoga and Senator Johnson had never had a match before. Senator Johnson had always been insulted by Orokoga. The war is aware. It's not even like Liberia. The war is aware. Everyone is aware of that.
But you have Senator Johnson, Senator Johnson's widow wife, endorsing on Orokoga in recent days.
And so they can say we don't want to discuss all of those things. It's a fiasco. The woman is on a mat, and she will be on that mat for 3 months. She cannot go into politics or even discuss politics. So while we're reading there, you can publish it out there to the public so that the public can view it to say someone have a public service announcement. Our mother are not even taking her own time to even come to people of Nima to appreciate them for giving her husband a befitting burial. Because all of us in Nima Kante also know the tradition, and we know that she should be given time, the 3 months where she will be in a black clothes. She will have nowhere going. Anyone who loves her had to go there with food while she on the table, on the mat. So she cannot give endorsement as a public service letter to say this is public service announcement. You cannot do a public service announcement and call it endorsement. And this was not even written by, that was not even written by the widow that you are discussing today. So like I said, people are continuing to be in error because they want to just get power immediately. The people of Nima need to decide. So the tradition of performing ban is now a tradition. No one ever stood there to even challenge anyone from Nima to say no one should go into the process because they should give that. Koga say traditionally is from the family of the Johnson. Senator Johnson, mother is from your government play. While Senator Johnson uncle, whose sons is Koga, is also from the New York government play. Senator Johnson mother is from Koga's family. Koga biological father, little sister, is Senator Johnson. So you cannot be you cannot be an uncle to somebody and jump over your nephew's body. Traditionally, it's wrong. Here, Senator Johnson had no society. Senator Johnson did not travel with soul. Senator Johnson had never even had a soul. So that someone can give soul to Kuga and say this soul is what Senator Johnson was using. So even when Senator Johnson fought war, he never fought it with soul. He fought it with gun. So Senator Johnson had never dealt with soul. So there's no way that he can get soul. Obviously, no one can jump over anyone's body in an open to a public place. And you cannot jump over body and turn around and look at the same body. So Senator Johnson body that Kuga's jump over in ban. He also came secretly and set his eyes on that same body. He also came to Gander at the funeral service and set his eyes on that same body. And the body was also taken to the mortuary for burial, where we made an area like a museum where we buried Senator Johnson in a tomb. So the body was still in the corridor of parade where Koga will also stay behind looking at. You cannot jump over body and turn around and look at it. So just to be able for power, it can lead you to doing different things. Our traditional people in Nima even had to come out. What we been expecting, so that they can come out and investigate those who did that to disgrace the body of Senator Johnson, which everyone had turned out from Europe, from America, from everywhere in Africa and West Africa to come and grace the occasion and giving Senator Johnson a befitting burial. And in the eyes of our partners that have come internationally, our partners in progress that have Senator Johnson to have this school building being built, while all of them seated and we disgracing the body of our former or late senator. That was wrong in totality. Like you said, the people of Nimba, we will know who are the people of Nimba who will want to come and ask us to stay away from the race. We are not bigger than Nimba County. Nimba is bigger than Mike Bloom. But if someone is coming out to say, might stay away from the race, we want to know who is the person, and there will be a genuine reason for someone telling Mike Bloom to stay away from the race.
If, for
Like I
example,
said,
you are
I'm not
called by
bigger
the
than
vice
Nimba County.
president, if, for example, you are called by the vice president, you being a closest friend and supporter to him.
Look, Ati, the vice president is my best friend, and he's my brother. Power will not divide people. It will follow the struggle for power and bring disunity among ourselves, and also make our people to go disarray, and also brings instability in our country. They're not going to help us. The tenure of the vice president has been given to him to serve it for the 6 years, and one has gone. Those 5. We all according the due respect, because we don't know what the future have for us. Myself, who are being president tomorrow. No one knows the baby's future. When one is born, no one can determine how your future will be like. Only God knows how your future will be like. So when someone is given the mantle of authority to serve, most especially a country coming together to say this person should be given the mantle of authority to serve, we should all give the person all necessary due respect.
So
we
as
are
part of
doing
the
that
respect,
to
as part of the respect, will you accept if he calls you for negotiation?
So that cannot be a respect, or that cannot be a day respect. Let all of us get it clear.
Okay.
The vice president was not given the authority to serve only in Nima. He was given the authority to serve the people of Liberia.
All right.
The issue in Nima is all Nima County citizens affair.
Okay.
So even if we have some level of sincerity, the vice president should really be asking the people of Nima to vote for who Nima is want, and then send the person to him so that they can work collaboratively for the better good of Nima County.
Thank you. So
politically, if the vice president is stepping out there for another position, and you marginalize some citizens in Nimba, obviously they will have a different way of thinking. But that it will also bring disunity among people. Since the election was conducted, Nimbayans are yet to be unified. There have been no get together. There have been nothing the reconciliatory program in Nimba. We yet to see that in Nimba. So based on this, we all give our vice president all due respect. But I don't think the vice president will call me to tell me to disengage. If it is the elders that are coming from Nimba, across Nimba to tell us to disengage, we'll also have a few questions to ask him. When it is necessary, like I said, we are not bigger than Nimba. Nimba is bigger than us.
Okay, so 2 questions from Mr. Yene and Marcus each before we just open the phone line. Mr. Yene, just you can go ahead.
All right. Actually, Mr. Glumo, once again, this is Lawrence Nyan Yene. I am from Nengbai, right near you there. Mr. Mr. Glumo, same on 2 questions. Let me just do it because I really wanted to understand more point, but because of time, we don't have time. So, let's assume you were to give way, or Who you think besides you? Who you think could be the best person in this way? We discussing about the legs of Honorable Koga, the legs of Honorable Ide Gonglo, where we discussing
Garrison
the
Yelu.
legs of Garrison Yelu, Prophet Key, Honorable Siawe. Besides you, who do you think will
Be the
better
best person.
serve the people of Nimba? And B to this, because I got two questions. So B to the other question, why have you lost the election? What will be your next plan? Let's get that one before I come to my next question. Thank you.
Thank you. You going to a match for two things. Even when you draw the game, you feel you lost the game. So that two things, you either win or you lost. If the people of Nima come together and decide that, Mike, this is not the time for us to carry you, it means you lost. Live with that. Agree to what they have said. And then another time, you can think in your direction. Honorable Larry Youngwell lost election here, and he became representative twice. Honorable C. Sylvester Miana, who is currently in District 8, lost election 4 times, and at the 5th one, he won. So even Senator Johnson had lost, he lost election for presidency twice. Only the senatorial seat, he always won. So Prince Toba, who also served in District 2, lost election. There are some persons who have lost election, even that of the late that of Pueblo lost election. So if you lost election, it does not mean your people don't love you. Your people love you, but they are saying to you, it is not your time, we will give you time. So you just need to be focused and don't stay away from the good that you have been doing. Continue your good. Because the one who will be given the opportunity to say, my has so many losses, because you don't know why him is. To err is him. So there will be some mistake along the way that people will also be disenchanted. And you being the one who doing the good thing in your private life, you will be preferred by the people. So even if I lost, we'll also still be in the political arena and we'll be waiting to work with the won't be winner. Because it's better, it's good for the betterment of our Nima people. Nima should be our common denominator. It's not about the power, it's not about the struggle, it's not about what you went through. Because whenever you stay hard life, you got more to do. Money will be lost in the process, but in the trim of an eye, you also get money. You will come back to your normal status. So your first question was, what was the first question?
The first question was, who do you think you can get with to
Okay,
support
thank
just in
you.
case?
Like you said, you know, this is a struggling economy. We are international community not coming forward with some of the goods that were done for us during the time of Manatee Jones, the international aid being cut off and other things. And more to that, Onrokoga is working. Why be so desperate? Onrokoga was just here in 2020, fighting young people, beating their own radio station because they are supporting Onrokun. He said Onrokun was in a lower horse and they had treated that was sound that no one goes against his or her police. So Onrokupi being a colleague of a senior colleague of Onrokun needed not to contest against that woman. So everyone he saw behind Onrokun, he argue with you, even other people to beat on you why you must support Onrokun. He stood here that one person cannot be in a lead point. When Honorable Brown was also vying for the position of the representative seat today, he's occupied. He came here and campaigned for him vigorously that no one should adhere to people that Kun and Senator Johnson and stood in their way while the both persons were carrying on Mawen. This place being a minor tribe base. So Senator Johnson appealed to the people of Nima, at the time was Francis Manuel is your son, and he's from the Manon Bellier, and this place is a Manon-based place, and let's be able to carry Manuel. He came here and said those things were not good. Manuel is working at the level of the Nima University, the Liberia University. So the town should be given to Samuel Nikoma Brown, who is currently serving. And based on those arguments, they won. He beat on people everywhere in Nima here because they were behind Kun. And Kun is in position, so Kun should not be trusted with another position. So when they didn't know that you can't be in position and go for another position. So if I want to support anybody that I'm not into the position of vying for this seat, I would prefer Garrison Dode.
Okay, thank you. Then my
Garrison will
last
be my
question.
choice. And he safely tell you I'll campaign for him
Okay.
in the private land of Nimba and go all across Nimba and show that he get a fair share of the Nimba people's vote.
Okay. Last day from my end, on Oblivion.
I would have supported Mana Ide Gonglo well because we also want we need inclusion. But the resolution here is it is down people time. People from the Manon Belt should also be waiting for the seat of Nyatwa and comes 2029. So if Mana Ide Gonglo well comes for that turning, I can also go there to help her because she's a lady who's been thinking about the position for several times. So for now, where the Nima people, like I said to you, the Nima people say, Mike, don't stay out of the race. I'm not bigger than the people of Nimba. So the Nimba people come out to say it is done, people time. We should all have a baba that. So when it's 2029, when they say it's man people time, we will carry man either go where she wants to do, or we carry by Yantwayan based on the work that he had done. Because the way you work is how your people feel. So we could carry Yan for the second time. Or if Nya are not doing anything much, and it's necessary that Nimba people bring new person in order, so we can also carry Mana Ide Gonglo. But as it said, I would prefer Garrison Dode Yiru. Koga is working. The Koga gave chance to other people to also work. He had worked 13 years in a district. You know what many person can be saying in the district there is for the 2 or 2. The good thing Koga been doing to us here when we talk again here is standing like we're taking from our district and saying to you in Nima, so you can feel whether there will be clinic bill, whether there will be school bill. These are people from a background saying this.
The next question, Mr.
So it means they tired away and they want to just leave their district so that they can bring new breed of leadership there.
On Oblivion. Yeah, the next and final question from my end. I presently live Waterloo, Iowa, the US of A. Iowa is a state that has 99 counties. Iowa has the population approximately of 3.2 people. Liberia has population
3.2 million or billion.
3.2 million.
Yeah, thank you. 3.2 million people.
Okay.
Liberia has the population around 5.5 million people, approximately. Liberia has 15 counties. But I can tell you, Iowa is united in Liberians being, the Iowans are united in Liberian being united. Liberia has 6 counties considered as the southeastern region. We're talking about Grand Gila, Grand Cru, Maryland, Sino. We're talking about River G, River Cess. Those are the southeastern counties. When you total their landscape.
And sometimes when it comes to football, the Barcelona can say they are from the southeast.
Okay. Then when it comes to the total area, when you add all those counties together, they are totally around 15,000 square miles. Nima County alone total area is around 11,000 square miles. The population of those 6 southeastern counties is around 800,000. Nima County population is approximately around 700,000. Mr. Bliwo, those of southeastern counties, they got about 6 administrative compounds, but Nima County has 1. They got 12 senators. Nima County has 2. They got so many superintendents, and you name them. They got so many government positions, and they got 6 different county development funds. Mr. Bliwo, Nima County, if divided like that, some 3, you will get a population and the total area that will be larger than even Grand Gila and the other counties. What have you to say about the division of Nima that
Do you
people
support
always
that or
talk
not?
about? Do you support it or you not support
Nima
it?
being divided into 2 counties or 3.
2
Quickly.
or 3 counties. What have you to say about it?
Thank you. The day you are interviewed with Kuga, then you can ask him that question because he has been one of the brains behind the division of Nima. When he lost the election to CDC in 2017, he was forcing the bill for Nima to be divided, and he was on the sponsorship to divide Nima,
So you don't support
giving
that?
money to young people to go and do that. For us here in Nima, our numerical strength, our economic strength, and our togetherness with our tradition and other things, we also band together with several relationships. Like I said to you, when you said you're from Ningbe, Mr. Yine, and I said to you, I'm also from Ningbe. The reason I said I'm from Ningbe is I bought land in Ningbe town,
Okay.
and then if I construct on the land, I want to live there, I'll be a citizen of Ningbe.
Yeah.
So we will not divide Nima because of power. We are clear to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our togetherness, which is a relationship, I'm married in my mother's home. And my children too are also marrying from other places. So for our marital status, the parental backgrounds, and other things that hold us together, with the way you are saying 6 counties, 6 administrative areas, and our population is beyond them. All of those things are true. But if we want to increase anything in Nima to create job when it comes to governmental setup, we could add value to some of our bigger towns, because there are some towns here that got good city hall, they got good clinic, which is a health facility, they got good schools, they got good market building. And the population in some of those towns are all huge. So we can look into that and make them a township, and make some city, and you'll get job opportunity to 4-6 persons. The township commissioner or the city mayor or mayoress and code of officers. Another opportunity there. And then when it comes to the sanitary status, we could give our county, maybe since we have 6, we could give it 9 sanitary districts. And we'll also give rise to another job opportunity in government. If only in government is where people live.
Okay. So in short, you don't
And
support that, Mr.
everything that we are doing here in Nima has come from our own making to make Nima a better place today, to have good infrastructure and other things in Nima. Farm land that people are planting crops on, having raw here plenty, and having cocoa, and having palm farm all here are all from the private sector.
Thank you.
So I don't think
Thank
for
you.
position business we can divide Nima.
Okay,
If
that
we
question
want
has been
anything that coming from Nima to be adhered to at the level of a national level, what we can do is let all of us be innovative in the sense that we should be able to also make human being. We should be a motivational person or a country that can motivate its citizens.
All right. So let me hear
But
from.
sometimes where we in Morovia there, some of those districts are already populated with the people from Nimba. Let's bring out some species of brilliant minds. Actually, say boy is a brilliant person and living in Morovia around the soap in the bill, already populated with the people of Nimba. Then one person try to help this child that is from Nimba to help the person to win the seat in Morovia. We got 17 political subdivision of Masorado when it comes to electoral district. We could also help and at least secure 5 to join the 9 from Nimba to make it 14. When they are in some argument in Morovia at the level of the capital, the 5 that came from Masorado are serving the overall district because Nimbayans are there. You also representing them in that level with the other tribes that are there. You could join Nimba County to also bring good thing to Nimba that you can make government to prioritize. So it's now about the division of Nimba that will make us to get more job.
Thank you, Honorable.
Let us be creative. Let us be people who can create job for people. Let us come to the drawing board, talk to the CEO of MITA to prioritize Nimbayans when it comes to laborer job, and they too can get a little cent from there. When I was serving as county inspector, I will focus on the cleanliness of Yegepa. And I was also talking to those who were ahead of work in the sector of the mine, and they were giving opportunity to Nimbayans. When there are contrasts, we fight our way and Nimbayans are teaming.
Thank you. So
So
that
you can
question
be
has been answered.
innovative.
That
You
question
can
has
create
been
those
answered.
jobs.
Let's hear Marcus quickly with the 2 questions we need to hear from the callers.
Yeah,
Marcus.
okay. I'm here again, Mr. Blimo. Like when you came earlier, I think I actually asked you concerning the opinion about this Gio or Mano seat, and you said, if I'm correct, that it was a social media thing. But later on in the conversation, you mentioned that this seat is a dance seat. And since post-war Liberia, Nima has had like 6 senatorial elections: 2005, 2011, 2014,
2014.
2020, 2023, and 2024.
2024. Yeah.
Out of the 6 senatorial elections, the Dan Trap has won 4. The man won in 2005 at Duffers Dolo. And then the recent one that was won by a man, it was heavily contested by a damn man. But now you are talking about consensus that it is a damn people time. So the damn man is the damn trap, the man trap has just gotten a second chance, and the damn has gone for 4 terms. 4 different elections. They have won 4 different elections. And this is the 7th election. So why do you still think that this seat out of 7 elections, Nima is going for 7 senatorial election now? The man trap has only won 2, and the 7th one you think it still belongs to the down trap.
So thank you, Mr. Tabe.
Mr. Ta.
Like I said to Mr. Yene, this is a social media thing that you are hearing. And
At
what
some
you're
point in the
hearing
conversation,
is
you
what
had
people
said
are
you
saying.
mentioned that you say it was
I'm not
when
saying
you chose
that was
Garrison, when you
there
chose
on social
Garrison over
media.
Edith.
I said that was a proposal made, but it was not documented. And it almost like of people coming together to build certain
Yeah, you
relationship.
preferred Garrison over Edith because you think it is a dance seat.
No, I'm coming. Just wait. I will come to that. I said it and I explained it in totality. I said that if we were doing something wrong as we believe, and I come with time on that people should think outside of the box. That's why people were being concession. This concession that they were being is about what will help us to stay away grief from the minds of our people, to also help us to have a total unity in Nimba. At the level of the county administration, what Senator Johnson did after the election was they took a minor person to serve as the superintendent, and then took a person from from Babli to serve as the development superintendent. And the person next to the superintendent, which is the county inspector, were also taken from the Gio bill.
Mr.
Then
Blue,
from
we are talking about the
the
senatorial
we
seat.
and Doru
We are not
bill,
talking about
the fiscal affairs
superintendent
superintendent
or
were also
county seat.
taken from there. So that have been a good footprint. From the time the war finished from Liberia, where the war ended in totality and we started having a democratic elected government, all those who have served in a position of the superintendent have been Mano people. The late Raul Carmen, who just passed us 2 days ago, came first and was also succeeded by Mana Ide Gonglowe, and then Mana Dagadu Kimi, Pon Zwagle, Dokupo again, because Dokupo served twice, Nelson Kokwe, and then Mana Kome Apegono, who is currently the superintendent. No give me a argument on that. But where the argument came from the angle of the Mano belt, the people were forced to accept the cries of the people from the Mano belt so that we can have this unity. So preferring Garrison Yeru, what idiot are you talking about? I am saying with the cries from the Mano people and the cry from the Gil people, and why have been the consensual bidding, the grand rule here now of taking one from the Mano belt, one from the Gil belt, I would prefer Garrison Yeru. But if it was an open, election like what I've been doing in the past, I will also prioritize Mana Ide Gonglo so that we can have women inclusion into our leadership, to have the voice of the women in our leadership. But at least as it stands, Komeabe is making her headway, and she stands as the voice of the women. And most of our sisters are serving as directors, even though they are at the national level, like Koselu Dunke, Robert Binto, Yene Boayu, Colina Kura.
Yeah, Mr. Blue,
They too can also sit with the caucus
the
and make the
issue,
women
the
voices in the
issue of
national area.
the issue of who served
So
as
that's from that background I asked for.
Okay.
But I'm not
okay,
saying
that
it's
is
an agreement,
understood. I
but it was
guess we have a
proposal
common thing there,
that people
and
are adhering to.
and
Okay. So let's go
this
into
is
my
two. This is two in one question. I have you identified the